Antonio with a big announcement. Deborah Karp has parents and teachers are saying about this, and as we continue to follow the debate over school vouchers.
This is one of the most serious weather events we've dealt with in at least a decade.
Severe weather continues to batter the eastern part of the country with deadly flooding in Kentucky. How the state is handling this aftermath.
And right now at home, we're taking a live look at San Antonio. It is 6 o'clock right now, 37 degrees outside. And get this, by the end of this week, that is going to go down much lower. Our very own Mia Montgomery joins us.
Live from KSAT 12, Good Morning San Antonio starts right now.
And good morning. Happy President's Day. 6 a.m. right now on your Monday. And if you just happen to be up with us, even though you're off today, we are very appreciative of you.
So, yes, some schools obviously off today, some districts, some folks taking the 3-day weekend as well. And again, hopefully you had a good one. Went out to the rodeo for a little bit Saturday night, hanging out the Frontier Club. Thank you very much to the folks that allowed us to go in there. It was a good time.
That is great news. Well, let's go ahead and get straight to Mia Montgomery, who is in for our very own meteorologist, Justin Horn. Obviously, again, we were telling with some very cool temperatures yesterday, this morning, and apparently we about to drop it low.
Yes, especially by Thursday. Hard freeze expected Thursday morning following another cold front that works in tomorrow. So this temperature roller coaster that we've been on over the past week, it shows no signs of letting up even into this week. But yes, as Jeff mentioned, it is a cold start to this President's Day. Thankfully, we don't have nearly as gusty of winds as what we were dealing with this time yesterday morning. So wind chill's not as bad, but it is still very cold and you will want to bundle up if you're about to head outside for Monday morning plans. Mid-30s here in San Antonio. We have managed to see some below freezing temperatures, especially up into the hill country. Bernie and Kerrville, good morning to you. Both checking in at 28 this 6 o'clock hour. Plenty of sunshine is expected through at least the first half of the day. Temperatures warming into the mid-50s for any lunchtime plans at noon. We will gradually start to see more cloud cover stream in later on this afternoon and especially this evening. That's just a signal of more humidity that is going to gradually pump in overnight tonight. Could lead to some areas of patchy fog and mist tomorrow morning. Even warmer into Tuesday afternoon, high temperature near 70 degrees expected. Then we start to drop things down yet again after this strong Arctic cold front arrives tomorrow evening. I think just after dinner time is when we'll see that push through the San Antonio area. Cold already by Wednesday and windy. Then a hard freeze expected by Thursday morning. So we are not out of the woods yet when it comes to these sub-freezing temperatures. I'll break down all those details. We'll get you a full look at that coming up in just a bit.
Thank you so much, Mia. Let's get out to the roadways real quick. TransGuide cameras looking pretty decent. We got traffic flowing just fine on I-35 in St. Mary's. Got all of our drivers out there doing a great job. And I-35 in Walsham also crash-free. Again, construction zones pops up. If you see the orange cones, slow down if you're driving in the area. And of course, we still got that stalled vehicle taking place at I-10 and I-35, blocking a lane and a shoulder. So at this time, from this perspective, we are crash-free, but unfortunately, that's not the case everywhere.
No, Jeff, taking a look here, this is Seguin Road, FM 78, and that right there, we see that purple stretch of road right there. That's going to be Walsham Road, and we do have a unfortunate deadly pedestrian accident. Let's go ahead and check in with Alex Gomez right now. He's in drive cam for us, and he has been out there covering this incident for the better part about half an hour or so ago. So here we go. We are going live to Alex right now. Alex, what is the very latest out there?
Yeah, good morning. So I'm still here on scene on the northeast side of town, and you can see right here we still have an active scene. And I was able to talk to SAPD a little bit ago, and they actually confirmed that there was a man in this area trying to cross Walsham Road when he was fatally struck by this vehicle right here. So the driver of this vehicle does not look like he's going to be charged. It looks like this is going to be an accident because the victim was wearing dark clothing, and this area is not very well lit right now. So Walsham Road is going to be closed in both directions while this scene gets cleared out. However, I can tell you there is a side street over here right behind the Valero. It's going to be called Branching Court. That's the alternate route that police are giving everyone out here. So it's going to add a few minutes to your commute. But again, SAPD is predicting this should be opening up within this 6 o'clock hour.
All right, thank you very much for that update, Alex. And of course, if you need more information on this, you can go to ksat.com as well. Jeff.
All right, speaking of traffic, we got the construction project happening right now on I-35 and I-10. It isn't wrapping up this week. As we've reported on GMSA, the southbound lanes of I-35 in downtown are down to 2 lanes, and lanes from Martin Street to Cesar Chavez Boulevard will be closed through the end of February. So again, plan ahead for those potential delays and consider alternate routes this month. And we have an update to a San Antonio Park police officer shooting that took place where a man at Woodlawn Lake Park was shot. Bexar County magistrate is revealing more about the suspect accused of approaching an officer with a knife. Information combined with SAPD's records appears to show that it was a 30-year-old Chase Decker Thomas who drove a vehicle through the park and into the lake. When a park police officer went to check on the driver, she says that he took out a knife and approached her, refusing to back off. That officer then fired 2 shots at the suspect, hitting him, and then he was taken to the hospital with life-threatening injuries and has since been booked into the Bexar County Jail. We're still waiting for San Antonio police to confirm the name of that suspect. SAPD did say that the officer who fired shots has been with the San Antonio Park Police for 9 years. School choice vouchers are a big topic of discussion right now for families and educators in our areas and across Texas. And tonight, Governor Greg Abbott set to visit San Antonio with key state lawmakers to talk about their efforts to pass the new legislation.
Yes, a very hotly debated topic in our legislature. So this has also got parents and teachers talking this morning. Our Devin Karp was able to hear what some had to say and joins us right now this morning to talk more about this. Devin, what's up, man?
Hey, good morning, guys. So Governor Abbott's visit has divided some of these parents because this isn't a new issue for a lot of people over here. This is something the legislature has been trying to do for years. And some of the parents I spoke with say they understand where people are coming from, but they may not agree with the money decisions behind it. So let's take a look overall. Tonight, Governor Abbott is set to be joined by several other Texas lawmakers over at the San Antonio Christian School to talk about school vouchers, otherwise known as school choice. This is just as the Texas Senate passed Senate Bill 2. That uses $1 billion with a B of state surplus funding to create educational savings accounts for 100,000 kids, each one setting aside $10,000 for kids, $11,500 for kids with disabilities that they can use towards private and charter schools, including some other expenses. Now, some of those kiddos playing soccer yesterday, I was able to speak with parents over at that meet who say they understand the need for families to choose the education option that suits their kids best, but they disagree on the money behind it. One parent says she ended up making the decision to put her 2 kids into private school after growing up in the Harlandale ISD system and felt her education wasn't enough.
We were taught how to just pass a test. You know, like it was just like print out copies and just do the packet. That way you could pass whatever test was at the end of the year. And I just didn't really feel like I was challenged, or I was kind of bored.
Now, another parent right there we were able to speak with is also an Alamo Heights ISD teacher, and she says she's a big believer in the value that public schools have in the community, and she would rather see that money in educational savings account be put back into the districts, especially during some budget cuts she's seen in her own classroom.
I fully support school choice when it comes to families and choosing the schools that are best for them. But as far as the voucher program, I don't necessarily think it's very equitable for state funding to be following those kiddos.
So this meeting is going to happen tonight over at 5:30 at the San Antonio Christian School. That's on the far north side of San Antonio. We're going to have a crew out there covering what Governor Abbott shares for the news at 6, along with the night beat, and we'll have a full breakdown for you tomorrow morning of what he says on GMSA. RJ and Jaffney.
All right, thank you very much for that, Devin. The school voucher debate among Texas lawmakers or education savings account is nothing new. Similar ideas have been around for decades in the Lone Star State.
The very first school voucher proposal in Texas was proposed right after the Brown versus Board of Education decision.
Well, in case you missed it, on our last hour of Good Morning San Antonio, we walked through the history of school voucher plans and what's happened in recent years to get us up to the political debate today. You can watch it right now on KSAT Plus.
Alrighty, in morning headlines, the death toll has reached 9 in Kentucky after weekend storms caused widespread flooding. One person was also killed in Georgia. Severe flooding prompted over 1,000 water rescues. Across the country, the severe weather caused a headache for air travelers. The rain, snow, and high winds contributing to the nearly 10,000 flight delays and over 1,800 cancellations yesterday. We got another storm is expected later this week.
And a third victim now found in the wreckage of Friday's fiery crash inside a Wyoming highway tunnel. Take a look at that. This happened around 11:30 Friday morning. Now, videos you see right there from the scene show that smoke just billowing out of that tunnel right there after an accident involving 26 cars and trucks started multiple fires. The blazes were so intense that tires began to explode. At least 5 people were seriously injured.
Happening today, we're now just one day away from the highly anticipated negotiations between the U.S. and Russia about its conflict in Ukraine, set to begin tomorrow in Saudi Arabia. Saudi officials say that they'll play a key mediation role. The President Donald Trump confirmed Sunday that Ukraine's president will be involved. A Kremlin spokesperson says that the talks could signal a big change in relations between the U.S. and Russia. Let's look outside right now at 6:10. Good morning, San Antonio. Again, thanks so much for waking up with us. Sticking around even at 38 degrees outside. Ooh, excuse me, 36 degrees out there. It's getting a little nippy out there, RJ.
Yeah. Still to come, NBA All-Star Weekend has wrapped up. We're going to look at the Spurs' upcoming schedule, including their games up the road, 35 in Austin.
And a beloved North Side ISD teacher being remembered 1 year after his death. What family and friends are saying about the legacy of Mr. Fred. Today marks 1 year since a beloved Northside ISD teacher tragically lost his life. A balloon release ceremony was held over the weekend for Alfred Jimenez, known by his students as Mr. Fred. And Mr. Fred suffered a head injury inside a Brandeis High School classroom on February the 7th, 2024. He was in a classroom of students with severe learning and emotional disabilities, and the injury happened while he was redirecting a student, and during that altercation had fallen. He died 10 days later. Family and friends gathered at Bonnie Carter Park to remember him.
I appreciate everyone being here today in honor of Freddie. He really was a wonderful man, and I'll never forget him, never. And I'm sure he plays something in y'all's heart too that you'll never forget him either.
This case has sparked discussions about safety in the classrooms, something KSAT is definitely looking into.
All right, want to give you an update now on our traffic situation. Obviously, Jeff, we do have a lot of school districts that are not in session today, and a lot of folks obviously taking the day off for President's Day. Taking a look there at 90 at military traffic, looking pretty good out there. No major accidents to let you know about at the moment, but we do have a major incident. This is going to be off the highways there. That is Walsham Road, north of Gibbs Sprawl and north of Seguin, basically right there where FM 78 and Seguin come in. So if you're around the Kirby area, Converse area, this may tie you up. So I believe Alex is out at the scene.
Let's get out to him right now. Photojournalist Alex Gomez has been here for about almost an hour now. Let's see if we can check in with him to see exactly what he's looking at and if the scene is clearing up anytime soon. Good morning, Alex.
Yeah, good morning, Japhanie. And this scene was actually pretty active for a little over an hour. It happened just a little bit before 5 a.m. And I can't tell you that SAPD should be wrapping up their investigation out here. CSI just took a number of pictures and measurements to complete their investigation. It looks like they might be wrapping up soon now. So, however, Walsham Road is still going to be closed down in both directions, north and southbound lanes, just north of Gibbs Sprawl Road. So the alternate route that SAPD is giving everyone is they're going to be using that side street behind the Valero over here. It's called Branching Court. That's going to add a few minutes to your commute. But again, this should be wrapping up within this hour, Japhanie.
All right, Alex, thanks so much. Good news for our drivers out there. And hopefully, again, people stay as safe as they possibly can while they work to clear this up.
We're talking about some people taking the day off. Justin Horn, obviously out today, so hopefully Justin's getting some rest. So we have been blessed with Mia to hang out with us. Always love seeing Mia in the morning.
Always love being with you guys this morning. We've got plenty to talk about when it comes to the weather because more ups and downs, temperature swings, all seasons in 1 week yet again.
Yes.
That's going to be the case over the next several days. Take a look at your morning low temperature trend into this week. This morning it's chilly. We're in the 30s, some upper 20s across the hill country. country. So if you are fixing to step outside, definitely bundle up. Tomorrow morning, a little bit of a different story. We will start to see some Gulf moisture return later on tonight and especially by Tuesday morning. That means that low temperatures not as cold. Low 50s expected by this time tomorrow. Perhaps a little bit of patchy fog and some mist will greet you out the door for the morning drive tomorrow. Then we see even more changes work back in. A strong cold front arriving tomorrow evening is going to send another round of Arctic air into south central Texas. We are already near freezing temperatures by Wednesday morning. Tack on wind gusts upwards of 30 miles per hour by that point in time, and it will likely feel like the 20s to kickstart the day. Actual air temperatures fall into the mid-20s by Thursday morning, so a hard freeze is looking more and more likely by Thursday, and then still close to a light freeze by Friday, Saturday, and still chilly in the mornings even into the upcoming weekend. So a lot of those ups and downs continue with this temperature roller coaster, and that does include this morning. Again, there are those upper 20s for places like Bernie, Comfort, Kerrville, 30 now in Bandera, it's 31 in Bulverde. Meanwhile, here in San Antonio and Bexar County, we're in the mid to upper 30s, 34 in Pleasanton, 36 the current temperature down I-35 in Devine. A big difference, though, this morning compared to what we were looking at this time yesterday. Winds have dramatically calmed down, so wind chill values not nearly as cold as what we saw just 24 hours ago. We will see plenty of beautiful sunshine this morning. 40 degrees expected around 9 o'clock. By lunchtime, mostly sunny skies. Temperatures in the mid-50s. Then into this afternoon, partly cloudy skies take back over, more cloud cover returning, even more so later on tonight with that moisture moving back in. Highs in the mid-60s, somewhat seasonable for this time of year. 66 in Poteet, 65 at Port SA, 62 in Helotes, 61 your forecast high temperature in Lakey. Now looking ahead, we talked about your morning low temperatures. Take a look at your daytime highs. We're closer to 70 into tomorrow. Then we start to see those temperatures drop yet again after that cold front moves in tomorrow evening. Upper 40s by Wednesday. We will likely struggle to climb out of the 40s throughout the second half of the work week and even into the start of the upcoming weekend, which means that is jacket weather all day, every day. And just timing this out briefly for you, low pressure system already developing off to our northwest. This essentially is what's going to drop that boundary into our neck of the woods just after dinner time tomorrow. I think closer to about 8 p.m. is when we'll start to see those gustier north winds take back over here in San Antonio. That colder air then filtering in its wake. So all those hard freeze preparations that you had completed earlier this season, make sure that we are doing those again, have those completed by the middle of the week. People, pets, plants, and your exposed pipes. The coldest morning that we've seen so far this season was 24 back on January 22nd. We're going to be pretty much there by Thursday, so not out of the woods just yet.
Lord bless it, Jesus. We got it.
We got it. We can do it. And also important to note, we mentioned this last hour too, no wintry weather or wintry precipitation or anything like that. It's just going to be the cold air.
Yes. Careful what you click on.
Exactly.
Okay, here we go. We got 6:21 right now, 36 degrees outside.
All right, coming up in just a bit, Spurs rookie Stephon Castle put on a show this weekend out there in the Bay Area, how the Spurs handled their business at All-Star Weekend, and what is next for the team this week.
In this morning's GMA First Look, a doping scandal rocking professional tennis.
It's the second for Sinner down under.
Weeks after winning the Australian Open, this morning the world's #1 ranked men's tennis player, Jannik Sinner, is under a 3-month ban for doping.
There was a dark cloud over Jannik Sinner.
The 3-time major champion accepting that punishment in a settlement with the World Anti-Doping Agency following a pair of positive tests for a banned anabolic steroid nearly a year ago.
When you get into these anti-doping cases, nothing is that clear-cut. People want it to be simple, black and white. Unfortunately, there needs to be some nuance. There needs to be some differences in each of the cases, and that has rankled a lot of people inside tennis.
And coming up at 7 a.m., what this means for the #1 player in the world. With your GMA First Look, I'm Trevor Ault, ABC News, New York.
From the San Antonio Spurs, Stephon Castle.
All right. Well, NBA All-Star Week. Oh, that was nice. All right. It was weird, confusing, but we did get to see a lot of this. Steph Castle, look at that. Oh, that is nice right there. He was named the Rising Stars MVP. Castle also in the slam dunk contest. Jeff, did you see these? These are incredible.
I didn't. I'm looking at it now, man.
Yeah, he was incredible. Honestly, should have won. I'm just going to roll through some script there. But his last dunk did get him a 50. The only other player besides him was this guy. This was the winner, Mac McClung.
Whoa.
He got a 50. Castle fell just short.
I got to correct my Dunkin' sounds. It sounds like I'm biting an apple, but it's okay. It's good news. Okay, here we go. All-Star Sunday. Victor Wembanyama and Team Chuck, named after NBA great Charles Barkley, fell 25-41 to Team Shaq. Wemby finished with 11 points off the bench, and Steph Curry had 12 in front of his home crowd to win MVP.
All right, yeah. So Wemby and Castle, of course, there for All-Star Weekend, along with Chris Paul. The rest of the Spurs squad got a quick break in the middle of the rodeo road trip. San Antonio currently 2-4 on the first leg of the trip as they entered the All-Star break. They're sitting right now 23-29 in the West, 12th place. So 2 spots out of the play-in round in the standings.
So here's a look at their next schedule. Okay, up next we got the Spurs in Austin on Thursday. That game against Phoenix, tips off at 8:30 p.m. And then on Friday, the Spurs stay in Austin to take on the Detroit Pistons. Sunday, the team is in New Orleans.
Yeah, those dunks. Stephon Castle was great. He was robbed.
They were nasty.
Robbed. I mean, this is an NBA All-Star. That other guy's in the G League. Anyways.
Hey, it's 6:27 right now, 36 degrees outside.
All right, just ahead at 6:30, heart disease continues to hurt our communities as the leading cause of death in South Central Texas. How you can get yourself checked out over the phone with help from KSAT Community.
And neighbors in the Northwest Bexar County say that a new housing development will threaten Helotes Creek. How city leaders are getting involved in a follow-up to our Know My Neighborhood series.
Live from KSAT 12, Good Morning San Antonio starts right now.
Right now in GMSA, some scary moments at an air show in Laredo. How the pilot is doing this morning after a fiery emergency landing this weekend.
Plus, in a few days, thousands of volunteers will be putting on their gloves to start picking up some trash. Our very own Patty Santos tells us where and how the Basura Bash is helping you have a little more fun while cleaning up San Antonio.
And taking a look outside with live cam, we are starting off cold, y'all. 36 degrees out there, and we have got a hard freeze coming up. Mia standing by with the very latest in the forecast.
Hey, good morning, guys. 6:30 right now on your President's Day. We are in the building, and I know all of you guys are probably just chilling in the bed, getting the breakfast and coffee going right now, which is fine. We appreciate you watching us.
Yes, again, thank you very much for being with us. Hopefully you guys had a great weekend. We have a lot to get to. We know it's a holiday, so some businesses are actually closed today, Jaff. Let's check those out. So banks, DMV offices, some schools will be closed. However, curbside garage collection, garage, maybe you're pulling the garbage out of the garage, I don't know, will be like normal. Look, I had to do it this morning. All right, other businesses like Costco, H-E-B will be open, and San Antonio Public Libraries will be open as well. We've got a full list on KSAT.com.
You go home and your whole garage is just gone. All right, guys. Garbage pickup, y'all. Let's get over to our very own Mia Montgomery, who is in for Justin Horn right now. Yeah, it's okay. We're making it.
We're making it. That is for sure. Yeah, it is cold out there this morning. So if you are staying home, good for you. Bundle up, cup of hot coffee, all of the things, because yes, we've got temperatures in the 30s and even some 20s, especially up into the hill country. 28 right now in Kerrville. So we have seen some sub-freezing temperatures, even 32 in Uvalde right now. Definitely bundle up this morning, but by this afternoon, we will be trending a little bit warmer than what we saw yesterday when we topped off at 59. We'll be closer to 64 later on this President's Day. Mostly sunny skies still expected for any lunchtime plans. Then we'll gradually start to see a touch more cloud cover work back in later on tonight. That is going to signal some changes that briefly move in tomorrow. A little bit more moisture leading to perhaps some morning fog, a little bit of mist by this time tomorrow. Temperatures warmer into our Tuesday, near 70 degrees after starting off in the low 50s. 20% chance for an isolated shower, especially east of I-35. Don't get used to it. Another round of changes working in by Wednesday. Cold front arriving tomorrow evening. That's going to blow in another batch of cold Arctic air. High temperatures in the 40s throughout the second half of the work week. And yes, a hard freeze still in the forecast and looking more and more likely come Thursday morning. So we're going to time out all these details, get you another look at your extended forecast coming up in just a bit.
All right, on the roadways, we are crash-free still. Again, a construction zone popped up at I-35, I-10. You already know about it. Cesar Chavez, I-35, also a construction zone right now. That stalled vehicle we were talking about earlier has been cleared out, so that's not causing too many disturbances right now on the roadways, RJ.
No, not too bad. The only thing we've been seeing is right there, Walsham Road on the east side of town did have, unfortunately, a deadly crash that involved a pedestrian. Let's check out the very latest with Alex Gomez right now. He has been monitoring that situation there for some time, but he is back on the roads right now. Alex, how are things looking?
Yeah, good morning, RJ. I am over here on the northeast side. So a lot of kiddos off for work, a lot of workers not going in right now, but it looks like the construction crews out here are still going to be hard at work going 35 northbound. So there is a delay 35 north from about Retama Parkway all the way down to about Topperwine if you're headed outbound this morning. If you're coming inbound from Cibolo and New Braunfels, 35 south is going to be completely clear, RJ.
All right, so still dealing with some construction issues out there on the northeast side of town. Thank you very much, Alex.
All right, check this out. We got scary moments, an air show in Laredo. This happened this past weekend where a pilot forced to make an emergency landing when his engine caught on fire. Organizers of the event say that the pilot suffered some cuts and bruises, but get this, great news. That pilot is expected to be okay. He was flown to a hospital here in San Antonio as a precaution. No one else was hurt. All right, we got to bash some Basura San Antonio. Of course, the 30th annual Basura Bash is happening this Saturday.
Yeah, and many people have already signed up for this, but if you have not, there's definitely still time to do that. Patty Santos live at Brackenridge Park at one of these waterways where volunteers will show up with gloves ready to go. Good morning, Patty.
Okay, guys, so the #1 contributor to trash in our waterways is styrofoam. Just an example, we showed up here, first area that we could get to the river access, and look at this. A styrofoam plate and then some pieces of styrofoam, probably cups right next to it. If you want to help the city clean up all of this, the event is happening this coming Saturday, Basura Bash, from 8 to 12. There are 25 different locations where volunteers are going to be collecting trash. And new this year, there's actually going to be an after party, an after bash at Brackenridge Park. And on Sunday, there is a benefit Basura Bash dinner from 5 to 9. Tickets are $100. It's an open bar with live jazz, dinner, and raffle prizes. Now, this all is going to help River Aid San Antonio continue its mission to keep San Antonio waterways clean. The nonprofit recently partnered with a private company to start a pilot program that's putting litter booms in several creeks. The booms stop the trash from continuing down the creek, and so far they pulled 800 pieces of trash. 650 pieces of that were broken pieces of styrofoam. Once again, the problem, the main contributor. And what kind of trash they're collecting with this program is going to be very important to figure out what the next move is and how to stop it.
The biggest thing we need for these booms to work is more of them. We need them all across our watershed, all across our river basin. And that is our hope. In 2 years from now, we hope to have 10 to 15 litter booms across San Antonio. And combined with Basura Bash and our year-round programming, you're going to see a very, very different, healthier Greenway and San Antonio's waterways.
Okay, so once again to recap, Basura Bash is Saturday. There's a benefit dinner on Sunday. If you cannot make it to those events, but you still want to be a part of this solution, they host volunteer groups all the time to help clean up the waterways. The next one is March 8th. You can find out more information on KSAT.com. Patty Santos, KSAT 12 News.
Thank you, Patty. Looking ahead to next week, heart disease is more common than you think. As the leading cause of death in South Central Texas, the disease demands our attention. So Thursday, the 27th, KSAT community partnering with University Health to host a live phone bank. Callers will have the chance to speak with medical professionals about their cardiovascular health at select times between 9 a.m. and 7 p.m. You can join us for this important event and take the first steps toward your healthier you.
Also happening next Thursday, a charity auction will be held at University Health to benefit Heart Gift. So Heart Gift provides life-saving surgeries for children born with congenital heart defects and is celebrating 25 years of providing care to kids around the world. The special event starts at 6 o'clock at night, and the proceeds from Art for the Heart will support Heart Gift's mission to provide life-saving surgeries for children.
Happening today, Concord Career Colleges offering free services to kids ages 4 to 17. Staff will perform free dental care like cleanings, x-ray exams, and preventative treatment at Concord Career College on Northwest Loop 410. Now, it starts at 8 this morning and goes until 5 p.m. Well, there is a limited number of appointments, and you'll need to register ahead of time. We have those details on our website at KSAT.com.
All righty, yes, Fiesta happening today. The Battle of Flowers Association will announce their winners for the 30th annual 7th grade Texas History Essay Contest, a pretty popular event amongst the kids. The award ceremony will be held at the Ralston Family Center at the Alamo. The fun starts at 9:30 this morning. First place winners will ride on a special float in the Battle of Flowers Day Parade in May.
Hey, 6:39 right now. We got 36 degrees outside.
All right, still to come, the San Antonio Zoo in the spotlight once again. How you can help them out win USA Today's 2025 Best Zoo Awards contest.
And neighbors in Northwest Bexar County say that a new housing development will threaten Helotes Creek. How city leaders are getting involved, and a follow-up to our Know My Neighborhood series.
Taking a look outside, live cam again, starting things off here in the 30s. It is cold if you're going to step outside. Mia standing by with the very latest forecast, and we're going to check in with Alex Gomez on the roads. All right, coming up on 6:44 on your Monday. Welcome back. A legal proceeding coming up is so important that Mayor Ron Nirenberg and other city leaders spent their Sunday meeting with Northwest Bexar County neighbors about this.
Now, the proceeding will determine whether or not a company should get a wastewater permit for a project just north of Helotes. We've been following this story, of course, for months and have shared it in our Know My Neighborhood segment on the Scenic Loop, Helotes Creek neighborhood.
All right, so Zaria Oates tells us why some of these neighbors are not in favor of the nearly 3,000 home development that's being planned there.
Guajolote Ranch is the name of a developer's plan for nearly 3,000 homes in Northwest Bexar County.
We're going to go up here to where the entrance to Guajolote Ranch would be.
It's a dream for the out-of-state developer, but a nightmare for the people who already call this area home. Neighbors in and around Helotes say the Florida-based company's plan to build thousands of homes and build a wastewater plant would dump about 1 million gallons of treated sewage into the Helotes Creek watershed every day.
The various, household chemicals that would wash into the stream.
The Helotes Creek watershed is in the recharge zone for two dominant aquifers, the Trinity Glen Rose Aquifer and the Edwards Aquifer. Millions of people get drinking water from both. Steve Lee is one of those people who gets his drinking water from the Trinity Glen Rose Aquifer.
Even though it's treated wastewater, we're concerned that certainly some E. coli might make it down. And directly underneath us is the Trinity Glen Rose Aquifer, which is the primary source of drinking water for this whole area.
The Helotes Creek watershed's contribution to the Edwards Aquifer is one that provides more than 50% of San Antonio water system's water supply. The possibility of contamination to so many people's drinking water even brought Mayor Ron Nirenberg to the site.
In reality, it's much bigger. Millions of people that depend on this part of the hill country to protect their water.
This meeting with the mayor is just days before a hearing is set to begin on whether the developer should be granted the wastewater permit.
The SOAH, that body, is expected to send this decision to TCEQ for consideration by late May.
And the Texas Commission on Environmental Quality can either accept or reject the proposal, and after that, there is still an appeals process.
Common sense dictates that we shouldn't be putting that development on the headwaters of what is one of the most sensitive parts of our watershed.
Neighbors who showed Mayor Nirenberg the impact told KSAT the developers involved have not been communicating with them at all. A potentially long road ahead for people on both sides of this issue. Zaria Oates, KSAT 12 News.
All right, we will continue to follow that story there. Want to give you some updates now on the roads this morning. So let's check out our traffic authority this morning, and things looking pretty good. Again, we mentioned a lot of schools off today. Also, some folks taking some 3-day weekends as well. We did have an incident on the east side of town that has blocked Walsham Road. So we were still gathering information on this. It unfortunately is a deadly incident involving a pedestrian out there. But parts of Walsham still seeing some of the clear out stages this morning. But again, everything else is looking pretty good. No major accidents right now. You can see our inbound times looking pretty good, Jeff.
Good out to the roadways right now. Photojournalist Alex Gomez, our wheels on the road as we speak. Things are rolling just along. Good morning, Alex. How you doing?
Good morning, Japhanie. Yeah, I think the roadways are doing pretty good over here on the northeast side now. I just took the U-turn, so 35 southbound is what I'm going to be checking out. And 35 north does have some slowing because of construction, so just be aware of that. But over the weekend, Japhanie, I thought I saw a social media post that said that Mia Montgomery might be leaving the KSAT family. If that's the case, hey, we're going to have to cherish these moments with her.
Oh, Alex.
So sad.
I thought you said we're going to have a party here. We're going to go.
You can't just end the show with us sad. No, we're going to break our heart. We still got her for the days that we got her. So we're, like you mentioned, we're going to cherish every one of these moments.
Take advantage.
Yes, Mia.
Hi.
You doing it?
Yes.
She was like, I'm not trying to get choked up today.
No, because we got plenty to talk about. We got some business to get to first. That's right. Yeah, starting with it's cold out there this morning. We are in the 30s, even some 20s across the hill country. So definitely bundle up if you do have to hit the roads or just head outside for any early Monday morning plans. This afternoon, you can see on our temperature trend here, we will be warming things up a little bit more so. Mid-60s expected later on today. We'll start to see some additional moisture, humidity gradually work in overnight, which is going to lead to a warmer morning tomorrow. Low 50s expected in San Antonio, perhaps a little bit of patchy fog and some mist as a result. We climb up to near 70 degrees tomorrow afternoon. Then here comes another batch of some colder temperatures. We see a strong cold front work in Tuesday evening just after dinner time here in town. That is going to lead to potentially already some freezing temperatures by Wednesday morning. And then the big story is still the hard freeze that is looking more and more likely by Thursday. Right now we have air temperatures in the mid-20s expected, perhaps some upper teens across the hill country, and highs will struggle to climb out of the 40s. So you may want the short sleeve tomorrow near 70, but you're going to want jacket weather or at least your extra layers all day, every day starting on Wednesday. All right, so let's time it all out. Right now, 36 chilly degrees, definitely wanting the jackets this morning. The good news is that winds are not nearly as gusty as what we were dealing with this time yesterday. So wind chills not as big of an issue kicking off this President's Day. We'll see plenty of sunshine, at least through lunchtime and still some into the afternoon as well. But we will gradually see the cloud cover increase throughout the day. 55 degrees expected around noon, high temperature around 64. Generally, winds today will also be a bit calmer than yesterday out of the south-southeast at about 5 to 10 miles per hour. Here's a look at your high temperature, somewhat seasonable, especially along and south of the Highway 90 corridor. 67 in Pleasanton, 64 in Gonzales, low 70s off to our southwest for places like Cotulla, Carrizo Springs, and Laredo. Perhaps a little bit cooler across the hill country, 61 your forecast high temperature in Kerrville. All right, let's talk about the potential for a little bit of that patchy fog first thing tomorrow morning. And yes, we do have a 20% chance for an isolated shower. Don't get too excited for that, though. This is actually closer to 10 p.m. tonight. You can see the cloud cover streaming back in as some of the humidity does too. Maybe a few sprinkles already trying to develop by that point in time. 7 a.m. tomorrow, some of that patchy fog could slow a few of us down out there on area roadways, perhaps a little bit of mist here and there. Mention that 20% isolated chance for a few light showers. Best chances will be across our far eastern counties. Lavaca County, Cuero, near DeWitt County, even Gonzales County may be cashing into some of that. Again, along and east of I-35, best potential for your Tuesday. After that, windy on Wednesday after that cold front moves in. Wind chills in the 20s expected early Wednesday. Actual air temperatures there by Thursday. So all of those hard freeze preparations needing to be complete before that front gets here tomorrow. We're going to take a step aside. We'll be right back.
Welcome back to Good Morning San Antonio. Before you go, the San Antonio Zoo is in the running for the USA Today 2025 10 Best Reader's Choice Awards. The zoo is competing in 3 categories right now: Best Zoo Exhibit, and Best Zoo Membership. This is the second year in a row that they have made the cut.
So the San Antonio Zoo is the only Texas zoo nominated in the category, so you can vote once a day and every day until March the 10th. We checked as of this morning, and they are currently ranked number 11, so we moved out of the 12 spot. You can go online right now and cast your vote.
All right, yes. So good luck to Tim Morrow and the San Antonio Zoo. Let's check out your traffic authority here real quick, because things have, for the most part, been okay, Jeff, but we are starting to see a couple different incidents pop up on the roads. We're going to continue to follow the very latest on GMSA Plus. 281 Brook Hollow, traffic looking pretty good. We have cleared out that construction there. 35 at Topperwine.
Mia, it's kind of cold today.
It certainly is kind of cold out there this morning. Definitely bundle up if you're about to head outdoors. We're in the 30s. We'll be in the 60s, though, later on this afternoon. It'll be a nice afternoon with some of the cloud cover gradually working back in, especially by this evening. A little bit of patchy fog possible first thing tomorrow morning. We're back up to near 70 with an isolated rain chance east of I-35 Tuesday. Big changes working in later on this week following a cold front. Hard freeze expected Thursday morning.
All right. Thanks so much, Mia. And of course, coming up on GMSA Plus, we got so much more coming your way with your traffic, your weather, and we're also looking at this bucket of banana